You know what that did to me? I went from this to this. I got into the one of the best shape of my life. Not only I got back in shape, but I was making a lot of money. Why? Because the fact that I was cooking my meals every day was saving me a bunch of money. I was not eating out. I was not buying trash food. I really feel the need to call out almost every blue collar man out there. And why is that specifically? Well, as a man who's been traveling for several years now, most of you waste, and I mean total waste, your travel job, your per diem job. If only you knew the opportunity that life is presenting you in the form of a job opportunity, which is a travel job. Here's what the usual blue collar men do. Whenever you get a travel job, and I always said this, two things can happen. Only two things. Well, number one, and the most common one is, well, you're going to fall into bad habits and vices. Why is that? You go on travel, you go far away from home, friends, family, and now you got no distractions, right? However, you have cope with the feeling of loneliness. And what's the most common thing that most men would do? Well, coping with bad habits. You're going to be out there alone, making all this money because you're going to be working overtime. You're going to be making a lot of money per diem. So you're going to spend that money in bad habits to cope the feeling of loneliness. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alcohol, drug, women, gambling, you name it. I've seen it all. But when it comes to travel jobs, that's what most men do. And that not only is that jeopardizing your health as a man, but you're wasting a huge opportunity for you personally, for personal development. Because if you spend 3, 4, 5, 6 months, maybe a year, making that kind of money, doing that overtime, making that per diem, a lot of you guys come back home broke with no money, out of shape, alcoholic, sometimes even with more debt because you don't got the right discipline for your spending. A lot of you guys, I've seen a lot of guys go on travel and gamble the money away or get into unnecessary debt, buy things that they can't really afford, but they felt really badass because they were making all this money. It's all about jeopardizing. You're pretty much self-sabotaging. You're self-sabotaging. That's what you're doing. Or another thing can happen in a travel job. You can use that opportunity to self-improve. And I really mean self-improve. Get in shape, save money, probably invest, learn a new skill because you're going to have a lot of time. 6 hours seems longer in those four walls in the hotel. Instead of watching TV all day, learn a new skill, read books, meditate. There's a lot of things that you can do on a travel job that you usually can't do at your home because there's a lot of distractions. You got kids, you got your wife, you got your friends, you got distractions, period. You're not taking the right opportunity to self-improve in those travel jobs. I'll be honest with you, a travel job can save your life. I'm gonna say that one more time. A travel job can save your life if you really know how to use it. Take it from me, man. Take it from me. Because I've been in both sides of the spectrum. I party, I've gone to travel jobs and I drank my money away, gambled it away, had a good time because I was young, single, young and wild and free. And yeah, it's cool. If I'm fun, there's nothing. Listen to me. There's nothing wrong to live a little, to eat good, to go out, meet some people, right? But if that's all you do, not only you're not improving, you're self-sabotaging, like I said. But a lot of you men out there are going into these travel jobs and you got a lot of shit going into your life. A lot of you guys are going through divorce, child custody, financial problems, depression, anxiety, you name it. And you go to those travel jobs and like I said, you cope with that with bad fucking habit. You go out there and you start making money and you start spending like crazy, thinking that that's gonna fill that void. Here's how a travel job saved my life. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I've been in both sides of the spectrum, right? Like I said, bad and good. The good one didn't happen until 2021. I was going through one of the worst moments in my life. Recently divorced, jumped into another toxic relationship, really broke. I was really, really broke. Negative numbers broke. Job was going slow. I thought I was gonna lose my job. Out of shape, full of bad habits, smoking, drinking, and more. But then an opportunity came to me. And that was a travel job in Connecticut. I remember that perfectly. That was a travel job in Connecticut. It was going to last 10 months. They say, hey, you're going to go to this assignment in Connecticut for 10 months. The per diem was like around, if I'm not mistaken, back then it was like $70 a day. Plus, your hotel was paid off. Gas, you had a car. So you wasn't paying rent. You wasn't paying for nothing, right? And you will get $70 a day per diem plus whatever you make, right? It's not crazy money. but it's good money. And back then, like I said, I was struggling. I was going through a rough patch, and I needed to get away, bro. I saw an opportunity right there. Believe me, bro. I was at the edge, bro. Really few people know this, but I was on the edge of depression. That was the closest I ever been to depression, like literally depression. And I'm a man who fucking, I'm a man who fucking like talk shit about depression all day long, bro. Like, I used to be that guy, honestly. I mean, I still think that a lot of you guys are not fucking depressed, you're just lazy, but depression exists. And I was at the edge, bro. I was at that age until that trouble job came in. So that was the perfect opportunity. I took that trouble job, went away, and as soon as I got to that job, since day one, I knew I didn't want that travel job to be like the rest. I wasn't gonna drink. I wasn't gonna be on my bad habits. I was not gonna waste time. I was struggling financially, so I knew I had to make money and save money and find a way to make more money. I was so out of shape, so I knew that was a perfect opportunity to come back in shape. And plus, I needed to put some distance with some people that I need to heal from. That was perfect. That was literally across the country, literally. And for 10 months, that's enough time to fucking heal. So since day one, bro, I started my journey. I remember I grabbed a notepad. I still have that notepad. It's a little notepad, this big, a black notepad. And I start writing my thoughts every day, just to heal my mind. Writing my thoughts every day. And the first day I remember I wrote January 10 of 2022, because it was 2022. It was the beginning of 2022. My rough patch was in 2021, but this was the beginning of 2022. So I put January 10 of 2022. I remember that day. And I wrote my thoughts. It's cold. I feel like this. I feel like that. I want to accomplish this. So I wrote, I'm writing my goals. I'm writing my feelings. And I was going to do that every day, at least one page. I knew I was going to do that one day. That was going to help my mental health a lot. And it did, honestly. And the very next day, I went to work just to see how the schedule was, how the yard was, just feel things out. And then based on that, I was going to make my own schedule on my self-improvement. So what I started doing? Well, the job was from 6 a.m., 4:30 p.m. I was working 10 hours, 6:10. So the hotel that it was a residential inn. They didn't have a gym per se, but they had like a couple of treadmills in there. So I said, perfect. I want to start getting up early. So I got up early before anybody else, beat the sun, because I had to we had to be outside of the hotel at 5:40 because the yard was like 10 minutes away. So I got up at 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning, get up, get in that treadmill and run 30 minutes. I was running 30 minutes, and I did that every fucking day, every single day. That was the step one, just to get back in shape, just to get my cardio back, just to feel better. And then right after that, got back into my room. I was lucky enough to have a kitchen and start eating right. 3 meals. For those who don't know, I already had knowledge of my macros, my training, so I knew what to eat. I knew how to train. So the only thing that I did is that I adapted everything into my schedule in my life. So I did 3 meals. So by 3:30, I was back in my room, turn on the kitchen, and start cooking. I would start cooking my meals. Chicken breast, rice, eggs, fruit. 3 meals a day. That's all I needed. Bro. And I did that every single day. So in the mornings, while I was cooking, I would take a shower. I would take a shower first. Boom, would take a shower. While the kitchen was on, while I was heating up the rice, while I was heating up the pans, I was taking a shower. And then I get out of the shower, start cooking my things, and while I was cooking, I will also hear a lot of audiobooks, a lot of positive podcasts. That's one thing that you guys should start doing. A lot of you guys consume a bunch of shit, a bunch of bullshit in social media. Y'all should turn your car into a self-development audiobook radio, because every time I hear you listening to content in YouTube or whatever, it's trash, bro. So I was listening to podcasts in the morning while I was cooking my meals. Then I will eat my first meal. After I eat my first meal, I will go wash my teeth, wash my face, and groom myself. I started to take care of myself back then. Put some cream, groom myself, fix my beard, fix my hair. That helped a lot too, bro. That helps a lot with your self-esteem, not only to get back in shape, but actually to take care of yourself. You start to take care of yourself. So that was my morning routine. I haven't even started the day. That was my morning routine every day. So I will accomplish the first win of the day. So by the time it was 5:40, I already ran 30 minutes. I already ate a good breakfast. I already cooked my meals for the day. So I was good for the rest of the day with my meals. And I already grew myself. So I feel good. I smell good. I look good. And I feel good. So I raise my frequency. I'm raising my frequency, right? And since I got no distractions, I got only the pain in my heart and only the struggles that I was going through. I was finding fuel with that pain. That's what you should do. So by 5:40, I was at the door, already pumped up, full of energy, go to work. At 6 a.m., I would get to work. and do my thing. At 11, I have my lunch. I already have my meal prep, and then go back to work. And by 4:30, I would get out, right? Get out work. And while everybody was planning to go to the bar and go to eat out and shit, I would politely say like, no, bro, I'm good. I got some stuff to do at home. So I would come back at the hotel 4:30, right? So that first day, I remember I came back. I ate my third meal, the last meal of the day, chicken breast and rice, and I started looking for jiu-jitsu gyms because I always been a jiu-jitsu enthusiast, an MMA enthusiast, but more I gravitate towards grappling more. So I look for jiu-jitsu schools, and I found this particular jiu-jitsu MMA school that I liked a lot. That it was from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. because they were in camp. So I joined that camp. That was my night routine. I would go every night to train from 7 to 10. I would train MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling. That was my everyday routine since day one, bro. Day one. But before 7 p.m., I had like 2 hours between 5 to 7. So in those 2 hours after I ate, I started to read books instead of watching TV. I'm telling you, man, the TV that I had in my room, in the corner of my room, I was there for 10 months. And I promise you, I turned that TV on like probably 10 times. And that's a lot. That's a lot to say. I turned that TV on like 10 times in 10 months. And I'm being generous here, to be honest. Instead of watching TV, I started reading books, reading a lot of books. I would read at least 10 pages a day. That's a lot. That's another thing that I wrote down. I wanted to read at least 10 pages a day. So I did. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think I read close to 50 books in the course of 4 or 5 months. 50 books. One of the books that I read actually that kind of changed my life, honestly, was this right here. The Way of the Superior Man of David Deida. I highly recommend this book right here, among other ones. So I was reading my books. I would read for probably 10, 15 minutes, sometimes a little bit more. Read books, boom, boom, boom. After I read my book, if I had some time, I'll probably play my guitar a little bit. That's another thing that I want to get back into it. Y'all should take that time and take advantage of that time to go back to your habits, whatever makes you happy. So I grabbed my guitar because I took my guitar with me. I knew I wanted to come back to it. And I was starting playing my guitar. I was playing my guitar and I was getting good at it again. Playing my tunes, right? Boom, boom, boom. And that will heal my spirit, bro. That will heal my spirit a lot, I'm telling you. Playing my guitar every day, like for 30 minutes probably. After that, it was getting close to 7. Then I would go to my fight camp to train. When I came back, like at 10, I would come back like at 10-ish. I will meditate for 10 minutes. I would take another shower at night. After I take a shower, I would sit in my bed alone in my room, straight, and just focus on my breathing. I even watch YouTube meditation videos, I'm not gonna lie, and meditate. I will set the alarm for 10 minutes, leave it on the bed, and then meditate for 10 minutes. And that helped a lot, bro. That will clear my mind a lot. And then go to sleep. And then the next day, I would do all over again. Get up at 3:15 in the morning, take advantage of my hotel treadmill, jump into that treadmill, run another 30 minutes, come back, cook, eat, take a shower, groom myself, go to work, come back from work, read, eat, play my guitar, go to train, come back and meditate. I would do that Monday through Friday because on Saturdays I wasn't training jiu-jitsu. So on Saturdays, the same thing. I will wake up early, I will cook my meals, I will eat right, I will go to work, I will come back, I will either go to the gym or go train jiu-jitsu. And then the rest of the Saturday, maybe I will reward myself. If the rest of the guys had some plans to go to the casino, maybe watch a show or whatever, watch a game, I will go. I'm not gonna say that I live like a monk, but I earn those rewards because they'll be doing that 3-4 times a week. I only do that like once a week, if anything, if I feel like. And then on Sundays, rest. That's the only day that I will wake up late. I wake up like at 8 or 9 a.m. Have me a nice breakfast. I will probably go out by myself just to know the town that I was in, have a good breakfast. And if I had somewhere to go, do my groceries or whatever, I would do them. And that was my lifestyle when I was on travel, that first travel job. You know what that did to me? I went from this to this. I got into the one of the best shape of my life. Not only I got back in shape, but I was making a lot of money. Why? Because the fact that I was cooking my meals every day was saving me a bunch of money. I was not eating out. I was not buying trash food. I literally bought a big bag of rice at Costco, like this fucking big, like a fucking 56-pound bag of rice. And that bag of rice lasts me like 5 or 6 months, bro. Something like that. And the chicken breast, I will buy that every week. I will buy a whole fucking packages of chicken breast. It will cost me like, I was probably spending on the weekly basis, I was probably spending like between $80 to $100. If anything. I'm probably exaggerating because I was only eating chicken, rice, and eggs. eggs and some juice here and there. I was not spending a lot. So, and I was eating good. I was eating more than once. I was eating more than once a day. And think about it, bro. Like most of you guys eat out every day, and that's only one meal and a trash one, plus your dinner and whatever. Most of you spend way more money than that. Then my frequency was better. Even though I felt bad because all the shit that I was going in my life, the fact that I was getting up early, doing my cardio, doing my daily writings, because I was writing in the morning. Every morning after I ate in the morning and I took my shower and everything, I would write like for 5 minutes. I would write my thoughts. That helped me a lot. That was like a therapy to me. And I would go to work and I was having a great time too. I was lucky enough that the crew that I was working, they became really close friends, honestly. I had the right people, bro. There was not a single day that I didn't go to work and I wasn't laughing my ass off. Every day we would fucking laugh, like hard laugh, you know? One of my homies used to say, a good laugh is good for the soul. It was right. That helped me a lot too. So surrounding yourself with the right type of people, you know, with good spirits, good vibes is good too. And that was my whole travel job. And because I raised my frequency to that level, your mind starts to open up. Starts to open up to other opportunities. And that travel job, that's when I wrote my first book. I wrote my first book in that travel job. That's when I started the basis of my online coaching business. Everything that I did on that travel job, that's the same blueprint, the same principles that I teach to my clients till this day. Simple meals, a simple program, and a simple set of habits that are gonna get you right. They're gonna get you back in shape. They're gonna help you. They're gonna teach you how to be more disciplined and consistent while you're working and depending on your trade, you know, taking all that in consideration. And I'm telling you, man, because I raised my frequency in that job, a lot of things came to me. The law of attraction is really real. I raised my frequency every day and I got used to operating in a higher state of frequency. The good things came to me. I met my wife in that travel job. After like 6 or 7 months, I met her. I met my wife and eventually became the mother of my children. Just because of that travel job. Think about it. Because I took that opportunity because I was acting right. If I was just like partying, fucking girls here and there, spending money, I probably wouldn't met her. I would have never met her because the path that I took of self-improvement led me to meet her. If I would have taken another path, I probably would have never met her. I probably would have ended up deeper in the hole I was in. A lot of good things happened in that travel job. And when I came back, the rest is history. Now I got a beautiful family. I got 2 beautiful children. I got a thriving online business. I'm in shape and I help other people to get in shape. I find my purpose. This is what I want for you guys out there because most of the people that I talk to on a daily basis are going through the same struggle that I was going through when I went to that travel job. And a lot of the guys that I talk to are still in those travel jobs and are going through, they're just like so in their heads, in their struggles that they don't see the opportunity that they have in front of them. You have all this time and all that money available to you. You have no distractions. Why don't you take action? Well, the number one reason they don't do it is because they don't know how. They don't know what actions. I'm self-aware of that. Well, reach out or do push-ups, do something. There's a lot of information out there, bro. I don't use this YouTube channel to some of our coaching program, bro. But just for the sake of this video, if you're in that situation where you're struggling with self-improvement and you don't know where to start because you have no fucking idea what to do, no idea of nutrition, no idea on how to get in shape, and you don't know if that's gonna fit your busy blue collar life, reach out to me. Go to my Instagram, send me a DM, send me a message, whatever, and we can get into a conversation and talk about your goals, talk about your trade, talk about your struggles, and come up with the perfect program for you. The same set of habits, a simple meal plan, and a workout program that is gonna be just for you and specific to your goals. And that way, you're not gonna have any excuses at all on not following a self-improvement path. Because I'm gonna tell you this again. A lot of you guys are struggling because you refuse to find the cure. A lot of people say that they want the cure of their pain, but that requires uncomfortable. The pain, the cure for that pain is uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. And a lot of you guys refuse to be uncomfortable. You don't want a cure. You want a remedy. The remedy doesn't require pain because the remedy just eases the pain. It doesn't make it go away. It just lowers the pain. And a lot of you guys are just looking for remedies. You're not looking for the cure. You need the fucking cure. You need the cure. Otherwise, it's gonna follow you forever like cancer, bro. If you're struggling, if you have mental issues, if you have relationship issues, whatever, even financial issues, reach out. Find a way to self-improve and to change your mindset so good things come to you. Change comes from within. Whatever you want to acquire on the outside, you must cultivate it on the inside. It doesn't work the other way around. Motion creates motivation, not the only way around. But in order to create motion, you need to know how to create that motion. How to go from point A to point B. That requires a game plan. You need to know that game plan. You need to know that blueprint. Take advantage of those travel jobs, man. Put yourself as a priority. You are a priority. Your body's a priority. Your mind is a priority. Because if you're not good, nobody under your supervision and your leadership will be good. Not your kids, not your wife, not your friends, not anybody. I know that we tend to put ourselves in the last place. We tend to see fitness as a luxury. That's a fucking big mistake. Business is not about just having a six-pack and good muscles. It's about being in shape mentally and physically. So you operate in a higher state of frequency, and because you operate in a higher state of frequency, you are able to do what you're supposed to do, and you are able to reach out deeper to the ones that you're supposed to reach out, your kids or whoever. But if you're not operating in the right frequency, you're not gonna get anything done. And that comes from within. It doesn't come from the outside. It doesn't come from your urges. It doesn't come from the comforts of the world. The answer is not in the hedonistic lifestyle. The answer is within yourself. And as cheesy as it sounds, you have to find the answer within, not outside.